don't know what it takes. So you wanna be great, but do you really know what the stakes? Do you know what it means to me? I keep running my race.
Hello and welcome everybody. It's been a while, but we're back in the studio together. Welcome to the Hidden Cage. I'm Tristan Thornhill. To my immediate virtual right this time is Jack, the one and only Jack Glennon. Jack, how you been, man? A lot to talk about. How you been?
I'm good. You know, I'm finally on the right side of you, which is good, because I'd honestly prefer to be on your right side. I'm so sick of being on your damn left. And you're on my left tonight, so finally we're matching. We make some sort of sense as to where we're at, but I'm doing good. I was not on the last episode except for a brief clip of me, which, you know, I love to do everything live, but I am in Europe as we speak, so I'm joining from 8:30 my time and Tristan 12:30 yours.
Yeah, how is Europe, man? Where are you, in Greece?
I'm in Greece. That's right. I'm in Athens. I've been here for like 2 weeks now. I'm here for another 3, and you know, I know some of the Greek language, so it's been a pretty easy transition. But it's been a lot of fun, man. I miss you though. It's great to see you.
I miss you too, brother. We have a lot to talk about, but I'd be remiss in saying that I miss you. But life update. I'm digging through my old crap in my room, getting ready to clear out of the house and go move into my own apartment. I found my old first basement. And I shit you not, everywhere I go, I'm like getting down ready for a ball. It's like a joy has been restored in me. We've got the All-Star game coming up. Lots of news to talk about. My Yankees are finally starting to get back on track after losing 6 in a row. The Giants still have some question marks. Let's break it down. Where do you want to start first? Do you want to start with the All-Star game? We can keep talking shop if you want. I don't care.
I want to start with that first baseman's mitt. I'll tell you that right now. I want to start with that glove.
Let's do it.
Because I'll tell you what, I think you'd make a hell of a first baseman. You have the height and weight of David Ortiz.
I wouldn't say quite the height, but you might be right with the weight. I'll give you that. I don't have the same skill set. I would say I have a Robinson Cano type swing from the left, though. I'll give you that.
I think you'd have a pretty left swing.
I couldn't scoop for shit. I was a catcher, so I used this either to catch or for first base because I think it's both. You see the little netting in the back here? So I think it's both. But, man, I was just digging through. My dad was just digging through shit, and I just found it, and I was like, God, a blast from the past. I found my old baseball bag, bats, helmets, gloves. Dude, it made me want to throw up. We're getting so old. I found old Yankee stuff. But, I think we should dive right in. Guys, it's been a while that since we've seen you. A lot to talk about. Last we talked to you about Rafael Devers going to the Giants. What does that mean for the Red Sox? Now, the Red Sox have started a little bit of a winning streak of their own without Rafael Devers. And the Giants, what would you say? The Giants are kind of in a right now. They had a walk-off last night. We're recording this on Thursday, July 10th, of course.
That would be 2 nights ago, but I'll tell you what.
Was that 2 nights ago? Okay.
Yeah, the crazy one off the top of the wall. But look, the thing with the Giants is the spot that they're in. They lost a series to the White Sox. They lost a series to the Marlins. And then you turn around, you win a series at home against the Phillies, and you've had no problem beating good teams all year. You got the 3rd best winning percentage in baseball against teams above 500. It doesn't make much sense to me, but I'd rather beat the good teams if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. You know, what does your dad always say? Take 2 out of 3 against the good teams, and you sweep the bad ones. I feel like that's something that you always need to have in the back of your head, no matter what kind of team you are. Whether you're deciding whether you're going to be a seller or if you're going to be a buyer at the deadline. And we hear the whole Brian Cashman, we're going to be going to town this year. But meanwhile, it's not the Yankees' bats that have been the number one problem. It's the lack of bullpen that they have. And we can get into this. I actually love to pick your brain about it. Does the MLB have a starting pitching problem? No one is going 6+ innings anymore unless their pitch count's at 60 because they're not having total strikeout games. They're not having high strikeout games. So you see these guys going six innings, and if they're lucky, 7. I mean, earlier this year, Max Fried was at 80-something pitches in the 7th or 8th inning, and they took him out. I don't want to sound like a boomer or an old head, but I miss the days where guys would go out there and throw 120 and act like nothing the fuck is wrong. I mean, that is the reason that you see bullpen's so taxed. Look at the Yankees. Perfect example right now. The reason their bullpen's not so good right now, taxed to high hell. Jonathan Loaisiga is usually a 1-2-3 guy. He's given up 2 home runs in his last. Gave up 2 home runs in his last game. Luke Weaver, not the best lately, but he had a great outing last night. Our bullpen's getting taxed. You see it all over the league, and then everybody says, "Oh, well, you can't run them out for 100+ pitches. They're going to get hurt." They get hurt anyway. Look at fucking Garrett Cole. So my question to you is: does MLB have a starting pitching problem? Because I know that's something that's brought up all the time in the MLB.
Yeah, I believe it does, and I think one of the things that I've kind of grown up on, the philosophy that I've been, is look, if you're through 5, 75 pitches or under, if you're through 6, 90 and under, you can maybe have a chance to go all the way. If you're throwing 15 pitches or less in every inning, that puts you on a 135 pitch pace. Maybe you go 8, throw 120, go 7, 105. But now, like you said, you're seeing guys come out with 6 innings, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 3 hits with 78, 82, 84 pitches. And to me, it's just ridiculous, and I'll tell you why. Because you can't expect these guys to strike out 11 in 6 innings of work. The ground ball pitcher is dying. You have Logan Webb, who's a ground ball pitcher. You got guys like, Brian Wu and George Kirby. The Mariners got a couple of them. But the ground ball pitcher is dying, and I think it's a big strikeout game now. And the same thing with relievers. Like you said, these bullpen arms are so taxed. They expect these guys to come in and strike out the side in order. And in order to do that, you have to be throwing A, crazy stuff, B, high velocity, or C, both, and that takes a tax on your arm.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, and everybody's thinking if you're not throwing 100, you're wrong. If you don't have velo, you don't have swing and miss stuff. I miss the ground ball pitchers. I mean, Clay Holmes was a prime example of that, and we talk about his struggles with the Mets now. I mean, you credited it to me on Instagram DMs the other day. The Mets' ugliness is finally starting to rear its head, and it's their starting pitching. And here's the thing, and I know Mets fans, our own Charlie Fernandez will come chirping if he ever sees this. He'll come and tell me, look at our injuries, okay? And I will say back to you, look at everyone's injuries throughout the league.
Right.
Every starting pitcher is going down at some point. Hunter Brown for the Houston Astros, supposed to be an all-star, hurt. It's not rocket science.
Blake Snell, Garrett Cole, I could go all day, Tristan. They
get hurt anyway. Let the motherfuckers run, okay? Maybe that will stretch out their arm. You look at guys in college, they're built up to throw 130 pitches. And by the time you get out there for your first pitch anyway in the major leagues, how many pitches do you think you've thrown already? Between warm-ups and soft toss, long toss, stretching
100.
out. You damn near already thrown 100 pitches.
Exactly.
What's the point?
I'll
Let
tell you,
them fucking run.
This is the thing for me, and I could not agree with you more, which is such an uncommon occurrence on our show these days. My mother always says about, I love nice shoes. I love Jordans and Air Force Ones and all that kind of stuff. And whenever I get a pair of nice new shoes, I saved up with my Target paycheck to buy a nice pair of shoes, and I won't wear them because I said, Mom, I don't want to get them dirty. I don't want to get them creased. And she said, if you never use your shoes, you're not going to enjoy them. Shoes.
Thank you. Your mom has some fucking sense in her.
If you never use your pitchers, why'd you sign them for $150 million? Why'd you sign them for $300 million?
Exactly.
If you're so scared of them getting hurt, and I get it, it's a long season. These are the dog days. Maybe you want to kind of scale back. You don't want to use your closer 3 days in a row. I kind of get that if he's throwing 29 pitches to get through an inning, cumulative ball. But starting pitchers throw once a week, man. I mean, now with the new schedule, you got these guys getting a day off every 6-7 days. It's not like it used to be where it's every 10 or 11. So these guys have an extra day off between every start.
Yeah. Well, I say all this starting pitching nonsense because, like I said, there's a lot of starting pitching woes, especially in New York, and I mean that for both teams. I feel like every day I bring up the Yankees when I got on here, but I mean,
you should.
It's the talk of the town. It's the talk of the town. Anyway, Cam Schlitler, the number 10 ranked Yankees prospect, first ranked Yankees pitching prospect.
Wait. What's his name? Schlittler? Oh, Schlitler. That's just so much better. That's so.
Yes. Schlittler. Okay? He made his debut for the Yankees yesterday because of all the injuries that have gone around their rotation. Clark Schmidt, Luis Heel, Garrett Cole, all of them going. Ryan Yarbrough, who has transformed himself into a fantastic starter out of the bullpen, might be going back to the bullpen if they can get healthy in the starting pitching department. He made his debut last night for the Yankees. and I could not be more turned on by a guy.
How was he? Was he good?
I could not be, and I mean that word for word. I know what you're thinking. Turned on by a guy, Tristan.
I think we need to.
Yo, I said what I said.
Tristan.
I said
we need to mute Tristan,
what I
RG.
said. 24 years old, 6'6", 225 pounds, coming out of Northeastern College. Okay?
My God.
This guy was touching 100 in the first fucking inning, Jack. Oh, he's hitting 100 in the first inning. He's gonna hurt himself, isn't he? No, fuck you. He can pitch, okay? I see shades of Luis Gil and Garrett Cole, and it's crazy that I'm saying shades of Luis Gil after 1 year. 1 fucking year, I'm already saying shades of Luis Gil. But he had 100 with run, man. And there was sometimes it was wild, but Matt Blake is one of the best pitching coaches in baseball. If anybody's going to get that settled in, it's him. Listen, you know what I did? I went and changed my Twitter page to, instead of just Tristan, it's Schlitler is king. Welcome everybody to the Schlit list. I'm signed up. I'm 100% on board. And you know what? I went up like 100 plus followers just from the change. 100 plus followers. Okay? I'm on board. Consider me a part of the Schlit list. Okay? I'm so down. I love this kid. He has a demeanor about him. Walking off Yankee Stadium, 75 pitches, got himself to the 6th inning, gets a standing O, no emotion. Love it. Love it. Exactly what I want to fucking see out of somebody who just shoved 7 strikeouts, and he struck out Cam Raleigh twice, if I'm not mistaken. The Cal Raleigh, the home run champion right now, 36 home runs, and a run he's having right now. I'm all on top of the Schlit list. But like I said, Yankees are looking for anything that they can get. Cam hopefully can provide that until somebody gets healthy. I'd love to see him try to continue to compete, but I feel like all I've done is ramble. Yankees, take me somewhere else, Jack. Do you want to go all-star? Do you want to focus on another team that may be making some noise? You give me something, I will piggyback off of you.
I want to be part of the Schlit list. I'll tell you that right now.
Let's go!
But no, what I want to talk about is the All-Star game, and I think that, here's my problem, Tristan, because I do want to rant about this quite a bit. The All-Star game's becoming a problem for your partner and your pal, Jack Glennon, because I'll tell you what, Clayton Kershaw is one of the greatest players of all time. He really is, and I've been so privileged.
Just got his 3,000th strikeout while you were away here in LA.
Yes, and you know what?
Strikeout about a week ago. Congratulations to
As much
Kershaw.
as I am against the Dodgers, I love Clayton Kershaw. He's a great man. He's a great teammate. He's a great player. He's a great competitor. But here's the thing. Clayton Kershaw's got no business being an all-star this season. I'm sorry. I really am. It's like when Kobe got an all-star nod over Damian Lillard back in, I think it was 2016. He has no business being an all-star. I'll tell you what, as much as it hurts me to say it, neither does Ronald Acuna Jr. solely because of the injury.
Wow. You really want to go that far though? But like that's I feel like that's part of the reason that baseball is healing is that we have these legacy picks. It's kind of like the NBA when they insert Dwayne Wade, like you said, they insert Kobe into it just so that the fans can get what they want to see one last time before they retired. And in terms of Ronald Acuna, you're in Atlanta this year. You'd be damned not to have a Braves All-Star as much as they fucking suck right now.
You have to have a Braves
fan
All-Star.
will tell you that.
Well, you have to have a Braves All-Star because every team needs to have an All-Star. That's what I love about baseball. Every team has an All-Star. And I love that we're able to vote for who the All-Stars are. That's what my problem is. I'm conflicted, Tristan, because if you get rid of this system, Ronald Acuna wouldn't be an All-Star when he shouldn't be this year. And it's only because he hasn't played enough games, in my opinion. The guy's got 9 home runs. But if you take the voting away, it turns into the NBA where it's just a bunch of crap and all these guys get snubbed. So I don't know what the solution is. All I know is I'm a little upset that Clayton Kershaw is taking a spot away from someone like, I don't know. There's plenty of great pitchers in the National League. Oh, hello, RG. Good to see you. That deserve a spot over Kershaw this year. And you know what? Kershaw deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame over them. But these guys, these young guys, deserve a spot at the All-Star game.
That's what the Rising Stars game is for. Not that Ronald Acuna would be in that, obviously.
No, he's not a rising star.
That's what that's for. So, anyway, I'll go down the list of your All-Star starters and replacements. Replacements are guys that come in for the injured. As of right now, here is your American League starters list. At catcher, the leading home run king with 36 home runs, Cal
Wow.
Raleigh out of Seattle. Hey, flashback. I wish we could have a flashback. I wish RG could clip one of our first episodes and put it right here where Jack Glennon said that Cal Raleigh wasn't the best catcher in baseball and Adley Rutschman was.
You said it too. You said it too.
Total horseshit. No, I didn't. I said Cal Raleigh was the best catcher. I'm not having this
Tristan.
argument. You're trying to put words in my mouth, and I won't stand for it. If I had a mute button, I'd put it on your ass right now.
RG,
No
RG, mute him
way
right
you're
now.
saying that.
This is
No
what happens
way
with
you
my
just said
partner and my
that.
pal. He
No
goes back every
fucking way
time.
that you just said it. Go look at the
This
footage.
is not the
It's
first
there.
time you've done this. This is not the first time you've done this. You say,
Cal
"Oh,
Raleigh
Jack Glennon
is the
said
best
this,"
catcher in baseball.
and you know what? I
Hands down.
did say it, but at least I'll own up to it. And you said Rutschman. You agreed with me. You agreed with me.
No,
I don't care if you want to admit it or not. Tristan, you said this. You said Adley Rutschman. Adley Rutschman's the best
I'm gonna
catcher in
crash
baseball,
out.
and I agree with you.
Before I crash out, let's get rid of this. Let's do the rest of the starters. I feel like we're getting off pace. At first base, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from the north side in the 6 from Toronto. At second base, former Yankee Gleyber Torres. Don't know why they didn't try to hang on to him, especially with all the second base drama that's going on right now. Congratulations to Gleyber. He definitely does deserve it. I agree. Coming in as a replacement at third base from the Tampa Bay Rays, Junior Caminero. Hey, look at the Rays, man. Rays get off to a rocky start, and now they're starting to fire on cylinders. Just that George Steinbrenner I can't speak. George Steinbrenner
Junior
feels like 2
Caminero's an
weeks
all-star.
ago.
Junior Caminero's an all-star.
Just watching him, 2.5 weeks ago when I was down there in Tampa at George M. Steinbrenner Field. The Rays are decent, man. The Rays are decent. They're fighting right now with the Yankees in second place. Toronto obviously had that huge 9-game winning streak. Then they lost to the White Sox 2-1 the other day to snap that. Good for the Blue Jays. Then we saw a lot of controversy coming between like the Blue Jays announcer and Michael Kay. Michael Kay saying this isn't a first place team. Well, look who's a first place team now. And the Blue Jays have used hot hitting. George Springer, oh my God. I don't know if you've seen when he's slashing his last couple
that
days.
he's bounced back.
Jesus. He has been on a mission. I'll get his stats here in a minute after I go through the rest of the All-Stars here. At shortstop, the youngster Jacob Wilson out of Oakland, California. Fight me.
Tristan, who
I
am
don't
I?
care. It's
Tristan,
from
who am
Oakland.
I? Who am
Nice
I?
for
I'm
Sacramento.
Jacob Wilson. Look at his back.
I know
Dude,
you hate that.
I'll tell you what. No, I love it. I love it because it reminds me of Hunter Pence. The guy's all over the place. He's
Fair enough.
It messes with the pitcher's brain. Jacob Wilson's so deserving. Such a really strong player for the A's. Love the pick.
Hold on, let me see if I
Love
can
the A's.
angle it.
Respect.
The little knee that Hunter Pence used to have knee nearly hitting the ground.
And Tristan, I'll tell you what.
Man.
You know what else I love about this pick? That you said
that?
the Oakland A's, because the Oakland A's are the Oakland A's, not the Sacramento A's. They're the Oakland A's.
Ruining the sport of baseball, moving them. Anyway, let's continue. In the outfield, Javi Baez of the Detroit Tigers. Talk about the resurgence that Javi Baez has had.
Can I stop you here?
Go ahead.
This is my favorite part. This is the first time the Giants have had 3 All-Stars in 4 seasons, but I don't care because Javi Baez is back, and it's not even in his regular position. He is a center fielder, switched from shortstop. The guy was the worst statistical hitter in baseball for the last 3-4 seasons. This Tigers contract looked awful. They were stuck to it. Javi Baez is done. He starts the year as a pinch hitter, kind of a 9-hitter against lefties. And he found a role in center field, and he has not disappointed. He has bounced back like I genuinely cannot believe.
Yeah.
Good for Javi Baez. Love it.
Yeah. And also with him, his outfield partner, Riley Green. Let me tell you a little bit something about Riley Green. There are constantly cards of his on MLB The Show. That lefty swing fucking rakes.
I was going to say the same exact thing.
He's an all-star, man. He fucking rakes, man. There was a card like 2 years ago of his. I think it was a lightning card. Maybe not a lightning, but like a
no, it was a Tops Now. It was a Moments card.
Tops Now, right? It was a Moments card.
That was my leadoff hitter.
One of the best, most comfortable swings in that game I have ever seen.
I can't believe this. Finally, someone who can relate to me. This guy had
such a nice swing.
He had 73 power, and I was hitting a home run with him probably once every other game.
And it was incredible. He had 73 power, but you could spray it all over the yard. Like, it even hit. But I swear, like, it had 73 power. I was launching balls with that card for no particular reason. Let's move on. By the way, the Detroit Tigers, three starters out in the field this year. Look at the Tigers, man. And then you have Scooble, who's probably going to fucking lead you off in the pitching department if he was still healthy. Let's move on to the last outfield position. Obviously, it's the mammoth man himself from the New York Yankees, Aaron Judge, big old 99. Now your reserves.
Wow.
The reserve catcher, Alejandro Kirk from Toronto. I think that's well-deserved. One of the most underrated, I'd say, catchers. Nobody thinks about it, but this guy hits over 300 consistently. He's doing it right now. So Alejandro Kirk, congratulations to him. Jonathan Aranda from Tampa Bay. Alex Bregman in Boston. Jazz Chisholm Jr. of the New York Yankees makes it onto the reserve list.
Undeserved.
Whoa!
Undeserved.
You did not just fucking say that.
Undeserved.
You did not just say that.
Undeserved. I did just say it, and I'm going to stick by it. Unlike you.
I'll go ahead and let you say why.
Unlike you. Because look, the guy's a 230 hitter. Sure, he's got solid power.
All right, are we really talking about batting average right now?
Got no plate discipline.
He has one of the best. Have you watched him recently? He hits a home run almost every game. He hit two last night.
That is not
what plate discipline means. Have you seen what he does in the field?
That is not what plate discipline means.
Have you seen his WAR? He's got a 2.8 WAR this season. That's all-star level. I fail to see what your point is here.
I don't care about deep analytics. I care about
251
average, and
a
I care about
346
on-base
OBP,
percentage,
slugging 530, OPS of 876. That's an all-star. You're just saying this because you're conforming. And you know what? I'll call myself out too. Before the Yankees traded for him, and when he was on the show cover, I said that Jazz Chisholm was one of the most overrated baseball players ever. I did. He is having one of his best years this year, though.
Yeah, I'm not denying that, but he's still not an all-star in my mind. He's not.
Who else has better stats other than the starters right now? Tell me somebody who's more deserving in the AL at that position who can do third, short, second, outfield, name it. Please, I'm waiting.
Does he do any of it well?
Yes!
No.
Yes, he does. Watch the games. Watch the footage. You should see him at third base. He's not a natural third baseman, and he's one of the best parts of the Yankees' third base when he plays there. Sure, he's not a natural, and so he causes errors.
But he just said he doesn't want to play third base.
Fantastic. He didn't say that. The Yankees said that. That's why they designated DJ LeMahieu for assignment to stick him back at second and run one of the younger kids out at third until they can find a valuable option for third base during the trade deadline. I almost said transfer portal. Jesus, college football is almost up though. Let's move on because you have a moronic take there, and you're gonna get flamed in the comments for that. Infielder Brandon Lowe, another Ray in there. Jeremy Pena sneaks in there for Houston. Bobby Witt Jr., who got off to a rough start, but he's now clicking as of late. He got his name into the All-Star conversation, and he's there. I wouldn't be surprised if turnaround next year he clicks again and he's back into the starting position. But right now that's Jacob Wilson. Isaac Paredes is named as a replacement reserve for Houston. Zach McKinstry for the Tigers is also a replacement in there. Byron Buxton is an outfielder from the Minnesota Twins. Stephen Kwan from Cleveland. Julio Rodriguez, the no-fly zone man from Seattle. And Brent Rooker, his favorite color is green trees from the Athletics. And the pitchers are Hunter Brown from Houston. Chris Bubich from Kansas City, Garrett Crochet, the Tennessee man from the Boston Red Sox, Jacob deGrom back into the starting. Hey, and you know what that fucking means, right? He's about to get
bombs away for Brent Rooker. That's what that means.
Dude, Jacob deGrom is about to get the nastiest All-Star show card now. I hate to tell you, that card's going to touch 104.
Yes,
You're going to give Jacob deGrom the most crack the show card now for that. Just because he made the All-Star team. All right,
bombs away for Brent Rooker.
Max Fried, a candidate for the AL Cy Young. from the New York Yankees, Kikuchi from the Angels, Tariq Skubal from the
Very
Tigers,
well deserved. You say
Shane
Kikuchi.
Smith.
Very well deserved.
Oh yeah, man, he left Toronto, man, and he's found it over there in Anaheim. Very, very happy for Kikuchi because I remember. I mean, I had a buddy who was keen on cheering on for the Toronto Blue Jays, even though he wasn't actually a Blue Jays fan. Zach Sutton, the one and only. Shout out Zach. He would always text me anytime Kikuchi was pitching, be like, dude, this guy's a fucking bum, bro. Ship him off. And now look at him. He's the starting pitcher in the All-Star game.
Looks very good.
Tariq Skubal, Shane Smith of the White Sox. Yeah, I said it. The White Sox have a fucking All-Star.
Well, Tristan, as my dad always says, you gotta send a White Sox.
Gotta send a White Sox. Brian Wu from Seattle, who's their pitching rotation has been phenomenal. Not over the last 2 games against the Yankees. Go Yankees. And Joe Ryan just announced to the team, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, of the Minnesota Twins. Okay. Some more relief pitchers. Aroldis Chapman out of Boston. Josh Hader out of Houston. And Andres Munoz. I think I said that right.
Andres Munoz. Try again. He's a beast. That's well deserved.
Out of Seattle.
Tristan, I want you to give me 2 surprises from this AL All-Star roster, and then I'm going to take our viewers through the NL because you and I do such a great AL-NL split.
What do you mean surprises? Like somebody that you weren't expecting to see there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, someone
snubbed?
you weren't expecting to see there. Give me 2 of them.
Okay, well, I will say from the moment that baseball started back in late March, early April, when we started, I didn't think that Javi Baez's name was going to be anywhere near this. But as we went on, I was thinking, oh, this guy needs to be there. So I'll throw that in as a surprise, because if you told me in April, March that Javi Baez would be a All-Star, I hit you with a sedative, smack you across the face, and ship you off to the nearest mental facility. Plain and simple. But Javi Baez is an All-Star, and he's looked great, fantastic even for them this year. So I think that's a surprise for me, as in from April. The other surprise, and I'm not going to say it's a surprise because of how he's played. Jacob Wilson getting there this early on in his career as a starter in the All-Star game, props to the young man. Props to the young man. He's slashing in a ridiculous, in a ridiculous line right now. 111 hits, 9 home runs, 42 RBIs, 5 stolen bases with a 335 average, a 379 OBP, and an 847 OPS. Unheard of in athletics territory. They've been asked for so long. That's a breath of fresh air.
Hey, they were good in 2018 with Chappie and them, Sean Murphy.
You know how
Matt
long
Olson.
ago? Yeah, and then they shipped them all off Moneyball-wise, thinking that they were going to get something back in return. They didn't get shit. Except for these draft picks that are now finally trying to rear their heads. But I'd say those are probably the two shockers. If you would have told me that in April, I would have said, no way, Jose. Shockers as in, like, right now, like, ooh, wow, I can't believe he made it. Alex Bregman, just because I didn't know if he was going to make it back in time from his injury or not. And that's kind of shocking to me. Other than that, I think everybody here is very well deserved. Kikuchi! I say Kikuchi. I was shocked.
That's
Kikuchi
what I was hoping to hear from you.
I was shocked Kikuchi made it, even though he has had a great bounce back season and he's been magnificent for the Angels. I thought there were, probably some more deserving people, like maybe I won't say Carlos Rodon, but
of course you will, because you're a Yankees fan.
No,
but you know what? I have to give you that. Rodon's had a great year.
I said I wouldn't say Carlos Rodon.
And I'm saying you would. Because I know you.
I'll say Carlos Rodon.
Of course you will. There it is. I was right.
I will say Carlos Rodon.
As always.
All right, take us through the National League.
National League, let's make this quick. A couple of highlights. My biggest highlight here for the National League is National League West, National League West, National League Best. 5 Dodgers, 4 Padres, 3 Giants, 3 Diamondbacks, and of course a Rocky because they have to send someone. But look, this is a crazy division because, these teams have been slumping. The Padres are outside the wild card. The Giants are now in the last spot, 8 games above 500 after being as many as 11 games above 500. The Dodgers have lost 6 straight as they head up to San Francisco for a weekend series with the much hated on their side, San Francisco Giants. But the names that stand out to me on this list, number 1, so deserving, James Wood. What a season this kid is having for the Nationals, I mean, you look at this trade from the Juan Soto trade a couple years ago, and the Nationals got James Wood, they got Robert Hassel, they got a plethora of other guys, and it's really starting to come together.
I hate to interject, but if you remember when that trade was initially done, when James Wood finally got up to the big league ball club up there in our nation's capital, it didn't look great. I think
he was not lighting the world up.
He was batting around 220 for the first 2 years he was there, and now finally you see it. The power has come to fruition. He's earned himself a spot in the home run derby this year, which we'll go through that roster after he's done with the NL All-Stars. Very happy for James Wood because that was somebody that, you had to keep a close eye on just because of the names that he was attached to, being Juan Soto. That turn better be good, and it's finally starting to pan out for the young man. So happy for James Wood.
Dude, I love the pick. I think he's a great player. I think that him alone is worth trading Juan Soto. It might sound crazy, but him alone is worth trading Juan Soto.
Let's pump the brakes.
I'm saying for the future. For the future, Juan Soto's not getting any younger.
Okay.
But I will say, here's another roster highlight for me. Of course, I'm a Giants fan. I got to go with my main man, Randy Rodriguez, out of the bullpen. .69 ERA, first Giants non-closer reliever in 20 years to go to the All-Star game. Having a hell of a season. And the other one that I noticed is Chris Sale. This guy is a timeless treasure, man.
Dude, he doesn't age. He's literally the LeBron of baseball.
Like a fine wine. And the last one I got for you, the last really surprise pick, is my guy. I love him. I hate to say it. Brendan Donovan from the St. Louis Cardinals.
I knew you were
going to
go Brendan Donovan. Guy. I knew you were going to go Brendan Donovan.
The guy is just so scrappy. I got to see him play a couple weeks back, and it's just like the guy's approach. He's just such a professional hitter. He's a good middle infielder. I like watching him play. Tristan, what are you most looking forward to about this All-Star game?
Ooh, that's a good question. The fact that it's in Atlanta is awesome. Having the opportunity to actually possibly go to the game. Still trying to work
on
that. I'm still working on the detail. Dude, tickets are $300, man. That's the one thing that I hate about baseball is the people that love it the most kind of get barred out, And I understand it's the All-Star game, and it's nothing like the NBA. Because getting into the NBA All-Star game, it costs you $1,000 easily. So I shouldn't be complaining all that much, but as a kid that just graduated college and is still looking for that first job, man, $300 is a tall ask. We're working on it, though.
Hey, that's not bad for an All-Star game.
No, it's not. We're working on it. I'm trying to because, like I said, the fact that it's right here in the South, and there's no more deserving of a city than like Atlanta.
Right.
Atlanta's sneaky kind of empty, by the way. I think you guys, nobody realizes that and a lot of people from Atlanta could tell you the same thing. Atlanta is just a hub. There's nobody actually in the city unless there's like a game going on. And the Battery is a beautiful. Jack, you ever been to Atlanta? You ever been to the Braves ball field?
I've been outside of it. I've been to Atlanta twice. I love that city. It's great. But the traffic is worse than Los Angeles.
We've got to get you to Truist Field so that you can see the Battery. The Battery is going to be absolutely popping this weekend for All-Star festivities, man.
Look,
that's going to be
if RG pays for it, I'll go. RG, it's on you. Put it on Roy George's tab.
Put it on the AMX. No. Shout
out to RG.
I would say that the one thing I'm looking forward to the most has got to be just the fact that it's in Atlanta. That city deserves it. They've built a beautiful ballpark ever since leaving Turner. And the Battery, like I said, if you've never been, you got to go now. It's going to be hustle bustle this weekend. So much to do in the Battery, so much to try, so much to eat. There's a lot of like card shops if you're into that down there. Atlanta is a great city, but it's right outside of Atlanta, so you don't have to deal with as much of the traffic as long as you don't find the idiots. There are idiots in Georgia, okay? But I would say that's what I'm looking forward to most.
There
the fact that
are
it's just
idiots
in Atlanta.
Everywhere.
Don't
trust me. I'm from San Francisco. I've seen plenty of idiots.
Dude, I have to say, Tennessee has some of the worst drivers, and you wouldn't think, why the hell would Tennessee have such bad drivers? I wish I could answer that fucking question for you.
You know what's so funny?
You run into at least 2 or 3 dipshits out on the road every day.
You know what's so funny, Tristan? You know what's so funny about that? You're from New York, I'm from California, and us two get the worst standard of states of having the worst drivers. Tennessee drivers are the worst drivers I've ever seen in my entire life, and it's not even close.
It's not close at all.
It's not close
It
at all.
really
They're
isn't.
horrible. But let's continue. I want to know, Tristan, the Yankees are slumping, whether you'd like to admit it or not. The Toronto Blue Jays now have a multi-game lead over them in the division. I could not believe my eyes when I saw that. I've only been able to watch so much baseball because the game started at 4:45 a.m. here. I watched last night's Giants game. But let me ask you, what is going on in the Big Apple? What is happening with the Yankees? Only you would know.
What? Well, it's, like I said earlier, it's the bullpen. Not a lot of room to work in the bullpen, and the offense has been spectacular. I would say over the past couple games. Rewind all the way to where do we want to start? At the start of the Blue Jays series. We'll go right before that. The Athletics. They go up against the Athletics, and they're up and down with their offense. They coming off of a series loss to the Cincinnati Reds, where they scored one run in the first game, 4 runs in the second, and 7 runs in the last. No, it wasn't enough to win the series, but the last one they salvage it. Then against the Athletics, they win that series with 3 runs, no runs, then 12 runs. So the offense lately, though, has been fine. You look at the Blue Jays series, 4 runs, 5 runs, 9 runs, 5 runs. I'm sorry, that should be enough to at least win you 2. 9 runs. That third game, they were trailing, I think, 8-0. And they came all the way back. Tied it up 9-9 at one point. Bullpen can't handle it. He's up a 2-run bomb.
That's shocking to me. Because, look, I'll tell you what, Tristan, when you have that much momentum, even if you are behind at that point, I don't know how you lose a game like that. When you come all the way back and you storm back, that's worse than losing 15-0.
It's got to be the most heart-wrenching loss that they've
15-0.
had this year. I will have to say that. It's the most heart-wrenching loss. And I was watching that game. We were on the way back down to Florida, a 13-hour drive. I was just watching it in the car, keeping up my mom updated, and I was like, you'll never believe it. We came out of the rest stop. She came out of the bathroom, out of the rest stop, and I look at her, I was like, you never fucking believe this. She's like, what? They tied the fucking game. She's like, no, get the fuck out! And then you just lose. Like, that's such a gut punch. And then they lose the next game, and they end up getting swept by the Blue Jays, who then take sole ownership of first place. Right now, they're up 2.5 games because they lost that game to the White Sox. But then we fast forward to the Subway Series, the second edition. The season series ends at 3 apiece against the Yankees and the Mets. 3. The Yankees win their series at home in March and in May. Now the Mets win their series at home in July. So you look at the Yankees in those 5, 6, and 6 again. Those are the runs they scored. Like I said, these are respectable amounts of runs. It's not going to win you a game every day, but it should damn near win you 2 out of 3 games. 5 and 6 should win you 2 out of 3 games. And then you look at the last 2 nights, they explode for 10 runs and then 9 runs again yesterday. So the offense has finally started to click. Over the last week and a half, I wouldn't blame it on the offense. I blame it on the fact that they can't mesh together. Anytime that the pitching isn't good, the hitting is good. Anytime the hitting isn't good, the pitching is phenomenal. Or the starters are not getting you through 6 or 7 innings. Now, yesterday, I understand you have a rookie on the mound. You don't want to stretch him out. You want to hit him early. And I've already had that conversation of 75 pitches, 100 pitches. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get hurt. I put that aside. 75 pitches. You don't want the kid out there for much longer than that. Just get a feel. 7 strikeouts. He looked great. Gave up, I think, 4 or 3 runs to the Mariners, and they got the win. The bullpen had to piece it together. They got the win. Devin Williams has looked really good lately. Luke Weaver actually had a good outing. It's Johnny Loizaga, Mark Leader Jr., who just hit the 15-day IL.
Johnny
It's the
Lasagna.
injuries. It's everybody getting hurt because the bullpen's being used so much. If you're so worried about pitch count shouldn't be worried so much in the starter role. Those guys are stretched out to do that. Those guys throw 200 pitches a day, combined with what they throw and what they throw before the game even fucking starts. The bullpen is not built for that.
Tristan?
So if you have your bullpen throwing 40 to 30 pitches a fucking day, and you have to get 12 outs from them consistently, you're gonna cause problems. That's why the bullpens are getting hurt. Because you're asking them to do what the starters should be doing.
I always say, There's a reason these assholes are starting pitchers and not fucking setup guys. Because I don't give a fuck. Pardon my language. I do not give a fuck. If you're at 90 pitches, you need to get to 100. If you got 7 innings pitched and you're at 95 pitches, the manager should let that guy ride till his arm fucking falls off. Okay? I'm dead serious. This is where my breaking point is, because I've had it with this. I've had it with the take these guys out after 85 pitches because they gave up a walk. If the guy is 7 innings deep and he's got 102 pitches, you let him ride until he comes to you and says, I want to come out of this game. You don't take him out, because you know what? It's bad karma, and I promise you, if you take your pitcher out after 7 scoreless, even if his pitch count's 150, if you're up 10-0, you deserve to lose. You deserve to lose just for taking him out.
With this.
You deserve to lose just for taking him out.
The prime example was when Carlos Rodon, I can't remember where they were, but it was extreme heat wave. Carlos Rodon asked to come out of the game because it's so hot. He's only at 88 pitches, and it was like the 6th inning. That I get. I don't like it. I don't like it, and you're getting paid a lot of money.
You understand
you should suck it up, but I get it. That point, you don't feel good. You actually feel like you're gonna have a hit. Cool. That if the first 60 games of the season you were pitching to the 7th or 8th inning consistently, and this is the one time, go get you some water, Carlos.
That's what I'm saying. It's one time.
Can handle it.
It's
That's
one time.
fine. But a pitcher should not, the whole 100, and I hear it on ESPN New York all the time with Don LaGreca, Michael Kay, Peter Rosenberg, and Alan Hahn, all of them. They say the same fucking thing every single time. I don't know what it is that got to these pitchers' brains about the 100 pitch mark, that they start turning they're like, okay, I got to start emptying the tank. Who said that? Ever since that the MLB started putting the amount of pitches that a pitcher is at up on the scoreboard, that giant scoreboard that everybody gets to see, so that everybody at home or everybody in the stands can keep tally, guess what? The pitcher can go up and look at that, and they're immediately already in their headspace. All right, 89 pitches. Let's start, emptying the tank. 6th inning is about where I'm supposed to be done. You're getting in your own headspace. The minute Aaron Boone, whatever manager, Carlos Mendoza, whoever the fuck comes out of the bullpen is like, must be around 100. That is bad for baseball. It's bad for the mentality, and it's sick. It's sickening.
Here's what I'll add. It's because a lot of these guys, look, when they start to get up there, they can turn around and see what their pitch count is, and they're probably thinking once they're getting to 97, 98, a lot of these guys don't want to leave the game. I mean, you see your manager, you see Aaron Boone, you see Bob Melvin, you see whoever it is on the top step of that dugout, and you go, I'm getting close. I better make efficient work of these next couple hitters, otherwise I'm coming out. And then you get in your own head. You're pitching to guys like you normally wouldn't because you're worried about your manager coming out and, bringing some other guy in. Let these guys throw until they don't want to throw. If they're playing a good game, if they're pitching well, like Dusty Baker taking out Zach Greinke in the World Series, I don't get it. Taking out Jonathan Sanchez against the Angels in 2002, I don't get it. If they're having a good game, what are you doing, man? That's what I always loved about Bruce Bochy. I know I'm a Giants fan. I get it. You're going to call me biased. But Bruce Bochy would let Madison Bumgarner pitch in that World Series until his arm fell off, and I am not kidding. And Nolan Ryan was the same way. He threw 200 pitches in a game a couple times, okay? Yeah. That's a warrior. You'd never see that today. Never.
I want to round out the Yankee talk so we can move on to the other teams that the people are, so anxiously waiting for us to talk about other than the Yankees.
The White Sox.
I would say...
I know everyone cannot wait to hear about the Milwaukee Brewers. Jay King, shout out.
Another issue with the Yankees is the lack of production they've gotten from certain spots in the field. You're talking about shortstop with Anthony Volpe and at catcher with Austin Wells, who's just retooled his swing, so we'll see how that works out for him. Hit a home run not too long ago, so maybe he's finally starting to catch his stride. Had some couple good swings of the ball, along with Anthony Volpe, who just missed a home run last night. But before this series, a good kid, great mindset, but it's just not been working out for him. And to the Yankees fans, I have to say this: to the Yankees fans that are expecting the next Derek Jeter, you're your own problem. He's not. But with that being said, I wasn't expecting the next Derek Jeter, but I shouldn't be sitting here being like, oh my God, another Anthony Volpe error. Okay, make up with the bat, and then he doesn't. His swings have been so terrible. If you throw the slider down and away, you're gonna get him. You're going to get him, and it's bad. He keeps his front hip open. And again, to Yankees fans who want him to be the next Derek Jeter, stop. He ain't. But at the same time, Play better, Anthony. You know, we know that you can. I've kind of just told myself that's the best you're going to get out of Anthony. You're going to get the occasional home run. You're going to get the occasional maybe 8-game hitting streak. You're going to get that. That's you know what? That's great for an average player. You're not going to get a superstar like they talked him up to be. And that's another part of the problem. The Yankees love to talk up their prospects.
Speaking of the Yankees, I need to submit a take for the Yankees. I need to make a concession to you, and I'd like to apologize.
Okay.
I will never say that Aaron Judge is the modern-day Bonds because, like I will always say, there is no modern-day Bonds because no matter what, there genuinely is not. Right. But I will say this. Aaron Judge, if he retired today, and you might even disagree with this, I don't know. If he retired today, is a top 3 right-handed hitter of all time, and he's only behind Hank Aaron and Willie Mays.
Okay. No, that's respectable.
You know what? I'm not saying when he retires he won't be above those guys. But what I'm saying is, if he retired today,
you know
he'd
what?
be a top 3 right-handed hitter.
I can conform to that. I have been quoted saying on Twitter all the time that I think he's the best right-handed hitter ever now. But
maybe
you know what?
Maybe he is the best, but he's not the greatest. He's not the greatest yet because he's not the greatest. He's not the greatest.
We don't have to have that argument today. But you know what? You put Aaron Judge in company with that, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. And I think by the time that his career is over, I think you will be saying he's the best right-handed hitter. I'm already on that
very well
line.
Could be. Of course you are. Look at your hat.
You're damn right.
I very well might be. But let me tell you this right now. I do. They're pretty cool. I like the street one. But anyway, look. With Aaron Judge, I'm not telling you that he's not going to be above Willie Mays and above Hank Aaron when he retires. But he's 33. That's the problem for me. I mean, you look at these guys, when they get past 36, it's a really quick drop. It's a very quick drop.
Could you imagine what he would be like if he got into the league at like 24, 25? Oh, my God. It'd be scary. He got into the league at like 28, 29, man. Scary. Yeah. In other news, I'm going to round out the Yankees talk. Anthony Volpe hit Aaron Judge in the face with the baseball in the Mets series coming off the field. I don't know if you ever saw that. Coming off the field, they do this thing where the infielders throw the ball to the outfielders and they leave it on the mound or something like that, and Judge wasn't paying attention. The one time, and I saw these jokes all over Twitter, the one time Anthony Volpe decides to be accurate with a throw, he nails Aaron Judge in the fucking face. Of course. All right, let's move on. I want to talk snubs. We want to get back to the All-Star talk. And
yes, I'd love to.
I really don't think that there's any bigger snub than Juan Soto. And this is coming from a guy who's got the NY on his hat, right? Juan was asked about it. What does he think about not getting into it? And don't get me wrong, Juan Soto he had a terrible start to the season. Terrible. So did Francisco Lindor when he first got to New York. And now look at him. He's the first All-Star that the Mets have had in years. First starter, at least, in years. And Juan Soto's not on that list, not even as a reserve. He hasn't even been named as an injury replacement yet. So,
okay,
it doesn't feel right to not have Juan Soto, who's a terrific player, not in the All-Star game. It doesn't feel right. But if you look at the numbers, there's an argument to be said that there's a reason why he didn't make it. But I do want to say, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. This is a tall ask for Jason on the fly, because Jason doesn't even know about what I'm about to ask. If there was a possible way to get Jason to clip there's a audio segment from Juan Soto being asked about what he thinks about being a snub. And he immediately, I think, based on the quote that I saw from Michael Kay, talked about the money he's going to lose that it was in his contract.
Of course, that's the first thing that he says.
Hold on. Before we get on, I would love, if possible, if Jason can do it in post, if Jason could get that clip and play it now. Play it now so that everybody can hear what Juan Soto is. If he doesn't, go on your second, device. Keep us up while you go watch it. Go watch Juan Soto talk about it. It's on YouTube somewhere. I'm sure you can find it. Turn it on your TV, your iPad, your phone, your computer, whatever we're not on. Go watch it. And if you have to, come back to us and just go listen to what he has to say. That's the part of me that is kind of happy that Juan Soto's not an All-Star. Why are you complaining about the money first?
I'm gonna add my snub because I hear you, I hear yours, and I think that that's a great pick. For me, this one's a no-brainer, and it's also from the National League. I'm actually going to switch to having my Cubs hat on. I'm going to put on my Cubs hat for this pick. Because I got one right in the corner here.
I know where you're going here.
I'm a Cubs fan at heart. I know. I'm an undercover Cubs fan this whole time. I'm going with Seiya Suzuki. This is an unbelievable snub as far as I'm concerned. 259, sure, the average isn't great. But 25 homers and 77 runs batted. He's on pace for 120. And you're telling me the guy's not an all-star? Are we kidding? This guy's had a hell of a season, and I get it. He plays for the Cubs. You can't put all the Cubs in the All-Star game. They've had a great season. Of course, they're going to have a few. You can't put 9 Cubs in the All-Star game. But, I mean, where do we draw the line, guys? Where do we draw the line? And this is my problem, Tristan, with the have every team have an all-star, because I love the tradition. I think it's really cool. But that's my problem with it, is guys who have 25 homers and 77 RBIs at the all-star break aren't all-stars. And it happens every year.
It does happen. I mean, is PCA an all-star? I don't believe so.
Yes, he's starting center fielder. He is starting center fielder. Yes.
I thought that was either Corbin Carroll or Kyle Stowers.
No,
I didn't think PCA made it.
Carroll and Stowers are both off the bench. Carroll and Stowers are both reserves.
Let me go look. Oh, how dare I? Yes, he is. Okay, he's a starter. My bad. I haven't been paying attention to the NL. You can rip me in the comments. That is true. I have not been paying much attention to the NL. That's on me. That's what he's there for, though. So go fuck yourself.
I am an NL guy at heart.
Speaking about going to the NL, there is one team that I have been keeping up with the NL, and that's your Atlanta Braves. A couple episodes ago, I would say it was the very first episode we had with Akash. I said, declare the Braves dead. You said I'd be foolish for doing that. But I'm declaring the Braves dead anyway.
You would be.
We had an episode. We had an episode in between. I then came back and said, actually, you know what? I'm in between right now. I'm in a limbo. I don't want to give up on my I declare the Braves dead take, but I also don't want to say that they're all the way back. I am now going to commit to one take for the foreseeable future, and I will not be able to change. So put this down in writing, because I know Jack.
But you're gonna say you never said it. You're gonna say you never said it.
Well, hey, RG. Listen up, asshole. I'm going to say it.
RG, in 2 weeks, I want to hear this take played back on tape, RG. Here. Save this.
Ready?
Save this, RG.
The Braves are fucking dead. They're dead. And you know what? They need to fire Brian Snitker, because there's no other others. The team is fine. You look around, they have Acuna for what, 2-3 more years? Guess what? Acuna's going to be asking for $500 million. The window for the Braves is shutting, and you have a team.
I'm not going to tolerate this. I am not going to tolerate this.
The outcome is going to be Brian Sticker's job. It's going to be.
No,
you ask any Braves fan.
You can't fire.
No. Ask any Braves fan what they think that the move should be, because you clearly can't be sellers at the deadline. That team's too good. Who are you going to sell? Who are you going to sell? Marcelo Ozuna? Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sure somebody wanted Who are you going to Matt Olson? Ronald Acuna?
I'll tell you what you need to do. You need to listen to me. This is ridiculous.
Answer, and I don't agree. Well, hold on. I don't agree with it, but the scapegoat answer is going to be fire Brian Snitker. There's no other option. The team is good.
This is ridiculous. You're being
look at the
ridiculous.
Players. They are stars. They're just not playing well. And who does that fall on?
Tristan, he won them a World Series championship. Okay?
Past. That's the past, brother.
Okay,
I don't care how long ago it is.
That
team had Freddie
here.
Freeman on it, man.
Listen here. The San Francisco Giants fired Bruce Bochy after a couple bad seasons because they said he's outdated. His best days are in the past. And that was the biggest mistake the San Francisco Giants have ever made.
But you can't say that right now, because look at how zero to hero the Giants have been this year. Sure, they're scuffling right now. They were tied in the division, and now I think they're 8 or 7 back. Something like that, right? Okay. Yes, Brian, he turns around and wins one with the Rangers. Who's to say that the Giants can't turn around and win one next season? They're going in the right direction. And maybe
I think they have a great chance.
What's best for both parties in Atlanta right now is Snitker finds a job elsewhere. There's plenty of clubs that would be more than interested in him. And the Braves might have to go a different direction, because, listen, they only have what Michael Harris, Acuna, Matt Olson for so much longer. Acuna's contract's up in 2 to 3 years, brother, and he's on a steal of a contract. Double A is one of the best in the business is getting his young stars to that little contract for a long time. Acuna's going to be in the prime of his life in about 2-3 years, and he's going to be looking for $500 million. And there are a couple teams that could be giving it to him.
More than that.
The Yankees.
More than that.
If Judge wants to move to first, hell yeah. We could stick, because guess what? Who's coming off the books in 2 to 3 years? Stanton's massive contract's coming off the books. Maybe you move Judge to DH, and then you go after Acuna. What I'm saying is, I can't see Acuna in any other jersey besides a Braves one. But the window is closing. There's nobody at the ballparks per Braves fans. And those were all the casuals that came out when the Braves were hot for those 7-8 years. And they had a great run. But the thing is, the key parts of that team are still there, so why ain't it clicking? You gotta look at other areas. The scapegoat's gonna be Snicker. It's going to be. I don't like it any more than you probably do, but it's going to be.
I'm really upset with this culture in sports now, where when anything goes wrong, it's the coach gone, it's the manager gone. It's starting to grate on me, man. It really is, because I think if you give Bruce Bochy this Giants team right now, I think they're better off with him than they are with Bob Melvin. And I really like Bob Melvin. That's not an insult, but where's Bob Melvin's 4 championships? That's my point.
13 games back in the NL East, the Braves. They haven't been in first one.
They're toast. I don't know what you want me to say, Tristan. They're toast.
They're dead.
And if you want me to say they're toast, they're toast. They're toast.
It's over.
But you can't call me foolish.
I'm not calling you foolish. No.
You can't call me foolish for saying 4 weeks ago that you can't count them out.
That was just a bold prediction for me, and it's turning out to be true, isn't it?
It is, but you know what? A blind squirrel finds a nut.
I don't know. I want to talk about the home run derby and who you got. I will go through the participants. Currently at 11 home runs, we have Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Atlanta Braves. Of course, you have Acuna. That's a big name in there. I think something that the All-Star game has been, really thirsty for is the big, huge names in baseball competing. When you look at the NBA dunk contest, when was the last time you saw a big name in the dunk contest? You don't. Okay, and
Mac
it's something that's going on with baseball. That's not a big name. He's not. He's
Mac McClung.
He stays in the G League. The only reason he's a big name is because he dunks the basketball. That's it.
That's right.
And
yeah, you're right.
No. So I look at the All-Star. You look at the home run derby. You got people like Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge, Tatis, Soto willingly saying no because they don't want to mess up their swing. So you got to think Pete's not even competing this year. I mean, that's the guy that cares the most about it. Fucking Pete is not competing this year. Pete Alonso will not be in the home run derby. It's weird. What do you do about it? I don't know. But
there's nothing you can do about it.
You just hope that they start to come to it. Now, here's the thing. I think as teams as the All-Star game travels, you'll see these legends, these stars get back into it so that they can perform in front of their home crowd. Like if the All-Star game were to go to New York in 2 years, you'd see Aaron Judge re-enter his name because he's in front of his fans. I think that's what's happening with Acuna right here. But anyway, let's go down the list. Acuna, he's at 11 home runs of the Atlanta Braves. Cal Raleigh in there with 36 home runs, the leader in home runs. You had to have Cal Raleigh in there, and you know what? You got it. If you couldn't have Aaron Judge, you better have Cal Raleigh. And, Cal Raleigh's right now is the better power hitter, plain and simple. Power hitter in home run territory? Yep, you bet. Now, I saw an interesting statistic about Cal Raleigh the other day. And you could call this cap all you want. It was an official, I can't remember who exactly said it, but it was official. Cal Raleigh would have 28 home runs if he played at Yankee Stadium, not 36. Weird, right? I don't know if I believe that, but that's
I just don't really give a shit, Tristan.
Fair
I'm
enough.
so sick of these ballpark. I'm so sick of these ballpark narratives because if someone is playing in the ballpark, look. The Giants ballpark is one of the toughest to hit in the league. You don't see me bitching about it every 5 seconds. Look, here's the deal.
So you're not one of those guys. You're not one of those Mickey Mouse Yankee Stadium short porch guys.
I'm not one of those 1 out of 30 guys on Twitter. Okay, I'll tell you what right now. Here's who I am.
You have my respect.
Look, the away teams are hitting at these parks too. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
All right. James Wood, we were talking about him earlier, of the Nationals at 24 home runs. Really happy for that kid. He's starting to find it with the bat, hitting the shit out of the ball. Byron Buxton comes back to the home run derby for the Twins with 20 home runs.
Great player.
Cruz,
Great player.
Badass. 16 home runs for Cruz. Junior Caminero.
Another badass.
The Rays, 22 home runs. And Brent Rooker for the Athletics, 19 home runs. Hopefully we'll see a bunch of green trees for Brent Rooker in the All-Star game.
Stop it. Hey, Siri, it's not your night. Hey, Siri, it's not your night. Oh, Siri's talking to me now. Siri said, sorry, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
My God.
Anyway, look, I'll tell you this right now. Look, here's the thing for me, Tristan, and this is what I love so much about the Hidden Cage podcast, which is loved by all, listened to by a few, and sponsored by absolutely none. But if you are interested in sponsoring us,
Please.
You can reach out to our wonderful manager, Roy George, RG. That's our guy. We love him. He's great. Or you can reach out to Jason Hensley, the founder of McCosh Films. But that's what I love about this podcast, Tristan, is we can...
Either one of us.
Yes. That's what I love about this podcast. We can talk about this stuff because, look, I don't think there's anyone else out there, any other podcast that can banter like we can, and at the end of the day, still come back and say, look, you know what? You're right about this, but on all this other stuff, you're the stupidest guy I've ever met. And you know what, Tristan? Some of the stuff you say is really ridiculous. But you know what? I finally have had a show where I agree with you on most of the things you've said, and I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
I haven't said anything ridiculous in like 3-4 weeks.
I think it's because I got a 4-week sabbatical from you, and that has just improved my mental health so much, Tristan. So much. You have no idea. Am
I really that unbearable?
It's been so... No, I love you, brother. It's just been so peaceful.
Okay.
You know?
I was about to say, am I really that much of a miserable prick? God. All right.
No, I'm only kidding.
Who do you have winning the All-Star game? Oh, not the All-Star game. Well, actually, we'll go back to that. Who do you have winning the home run derby? Between the guys that I just listed, Acuna, you got Acuna, Raleigh, James Wood, you got Brent Rooker, Byron Buxton, O'Neal Cruz, and Junior Caminero.
I'm going James Wood, baby. I just got a gut feeling. Okay. This is my guy. I love James Wood. I think he's one of the best power bats this next generation. I think he's going to turn into a 4-tool player. I know the speed's not the best. I think he will develop a glove. I know it's not the best right now. The contact is fine. The eye is good. I think this guy can become a 4-tool player. And God-given speed is God-given speed. He doesn't really have it. But I think he's going to win the home run derby. What's your pick? What's so funny?
My pick is green trees.
What's so hilarious?
It's green trees.
Oh,
that's my pick. It's bombs away for Brent Rooker. That's where I'm going with my pick. And I mean
fire up the fountains.
I mean that wholeheartedly. Like actually. I think
fire up the fountains.
The best part about the home run derby is it's always, it's either Pete or someone you don't expect. It's never the person that is like the leading home run getter. I actually don't know. We have to look. We need a stat guy on standby. We're gonna call like Jay or one of them to just sit in the corner and shut up. And only when we call on them to read us stats, he reads them back to us. Anytime we
You're a bad person. You're a bad person.
I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible person. When have I ever claimed to be a good person? Never have I claimed to be. I'm a terrible.
This is a good point.
I am a terrible, miserable son of a bitch prick. And I think anybody in my life could attest to that. But you know what? You befriend me, I'll treat you right. I will treat you right.
I love you, bro. You're not a bad guy. You're not a bad guy.
Jay King's not my friend. He's fodder. He's fodder to the flame. Fuck that guy. I'm kidding. I love you, Jay. No, but I'd actually love to have. We need one of those guys back on here again. It's been a while. But at the same time, I would also just love a stat guy just to make sure that we're not spouting garbage. Someone could just sit in the store like, hey, that's wrong stat.
No, because Tristan, you know what? I have to double check everything you say because a lot of the stuff you do spout is garbage. So I got to double check everything you say. So you know what, RG? I think we do need a stat guy because I'm sick of double checking this guy.
On some realness, I do think that Brent Rooker has a good shot. 19 home runs. I think his swing is built for the All-Star game. Trist's left field is a juicy magnet. Maybe goes a little. If he goes oppo in the home run derby, that's a little concerning. But I'm gonna go with Brent Rooker. And you know what? If we were sponsored by DraftKings, I'd show you the odds and tell you to bet them. But we're not, are we? Anyway.
No, because on this podcast, we're loved by all, listened to by a few, and sponsored by absolutely none.
You got that right. You got that sure as shit right. We are rapidly approaching the trade deadline as well. And I want to know, who do you see getting moved? And where do you think they'll move to? Because we've already started to see some teams making some moves. The O's traded their reliever Brian Baker to the Braves for a draft pick. And, the Yankees certainly is a team that could have reached out for Brian Baker because, like I said, the Yankees need all the relief pitching that they can get, maybe even a starter and a third baseman. There's a lot of boxes to tick if you're the Yankees. That's why I'm not 100% on a World Series berth, but I am 100% on a playoff spot. But there's just so many holes that you have to fill, and I don't know if there's enough product out there for you to get. So Brian Baker goes to the Rays. Baltimore is acquiring the number 37th pick in the 2025 MLB draft, which is rapidly approaching. Baker was a key part of that Baltimore bullpen, and he got there in 2022, and now he's being shipped off to the Rays. So, like I said, trades are starting to happen. We're coming up against the trade deadline. After the All-Star break, you'll start probably seeing them fly. But we had our first one, and it's a reliever to the Rays. So, who do you think that big name is going to be this year, and where do you think he's going?
Look, Tristan, I'll tell you, I know it's a boring answer, but I think that this is pretty much a consensus among the insiders. The biggest name that's going to get moved at this deadline has already been moved, and it's Rafael Devers. Look, this was the biggest trade, in my opinion, you're going to see at this trade deadline because whether you're a Giants fan or a Red Sox fan or not, this trade shook the league, especially when a guy goes across the country and across the league. So, look, that's a big deal. I don't really think that many other big names are going to get traded. I think that there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of calls happening. Obviously, Cashman's always involved. Buster Posey's very involved. But look, I think that there's a lot of rumors about Paul Skeens. I don't see him getting traded. I think he's too young. I don't see O'Neal Cruz getting traded. The Pittsburgh Pirates front office has already put out there, we're not trading these guys. So, Tristan, I'm going to flip it back to you. Do you see anyone big getting traded? Because I'd give you an answer, but I just don't.
Yes. Eugenio Suarez for the Diamondbacks.
Yes, I've heard his name in Yankee talks.
Zach Gallen. You might be seeing him. I saw the rumor today that there might be a package for both of them to go into the Yankees. Sandy Alcantara. Marlins are always looking to offload because they don't give a shit about baseball. Jacob deGrom. I honestly could see Jacob deGrom getting traded for a hefty price from the Rangers. I think there's plenty of names that could possibly not, if not trump Rafael Devers, because he's been up and down ever since he got to the Giants. Maybe not trump, but equate with the Rafael Devers news. I think there's plenty out there. Sandy Alcantara is a big name to me. Jacob deGrom's is a huge name. But here's the thing: there's a difference between trade deadline big names and offseason big names. So you have to because remember, once the trade deadline comes, everybody's name gets bumped up more in talks. Look at it like 2-3 years ago. Frankie Montas was the talk of the town in trade deadline rumors, and the Yankees wanted to go out and get Luis Castillo, who went to the Mariners. Instead, they settled for Frankie Montas, and everybody's, we have Frankie Montas. Joey Gallo. Oh, my God, we got Joey Gallo. What do they pan out to be? Nothing but subpar.
That panned out so well that Joey Gallo's pitching now.
At the very best, they're nice and fucking mid. So, like I said, everybody's name gets bumped up like 2 or 3, 4 notches than what they usually get talked about in the offseason. Right. So, that's the trade deadline. That's what I love about it. So, you could see a Zach Gallen on the move. You could see a Sandy Alcantara, a Jacob deGrom. You could see all those names, possibly even more, get talked about at the trade deadline. But so you really don't think anything else other than maybe Rafael Devers, or do you see, now that I've exposed some of these to you, that you could see something bigger?
It makes more sense, and I think the way that you put it that I liked is that I don't think that any one bigger name is going to be traded than Rafael Devers, but I think the overall exchange of assets total in some of these trades will be bigger than what the Giants and Red Sox totaled, because the Giants didn't give up jack shit.
Okay. 2 more questions before we wrap it up.
You could see a mega trade.
Yeah, you could. We can stay on the trade subject. Do you think the Orioles, should become sellers at the deadline? And if so, who are your 3? Because remember in MLB The Show, you get to pick 3 untouchables. 4. You get to pick 4, but we'll limit it to 3. Who are your 3 that you're not touching in the O's? And these are, there are 3 obvious answers here. But do you think they should be sellers? And if so, who are their 3 untouchables?
Well, here's the 3 obvious answers. Look, it's Adley Rutschman, it's Jackson Holliday, and it's Gunnar Henderson. There's no other answers than that. This is because I believe the Orioles should not be sellers. I believe the Orioles should not be buyers. I believe that this is a young team. It's not going to work out every year when your team is 23, 22, 24 years old, and those are your best players, especially after you lose a guy like Corbin Burns. It's not going to work out like that every year. So I think if they're going to sell any of their pieces, I think getting rid of Cedric Mullins would be a good idea. I think he's a good player. I think a lot of teams could use a lefty bat right now. But not the Orioles. I mean, look, they're so far behind. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, they're still last in that division. Yes. So they got a long way to go.
Well, we'll see. It's kind of interesting. They've already started selling. Like I said, the Brian Baker to the Rays. That's the first of maybe many moves that the Orioles could be making. And lastly, we have to update. Who are your AL and MVP? We're at the halfway mark, so it'd be wrong not to. Who you have an update on your AL, NL MVP picks? Who do you got?
Look, I know there's a lot of speculation about Cal Raleigh getting this award this year, but I've taken a look at the stats, and just because Cal Raleigh has 3 more home runs, and my partner, my pal Tristan Thornhill, will love me for this take, that does not make his stat line all that much better than Aaron Judge, because Judge's batting average is still damn near 100 points higher. He's got more RBIs. Aaron Judge, in my opinion, I said it was going to be Julio Rodriguez, I think, was my pick, and that was the dumbest thing I've ever said. I think Aaron Judge takes the cake, so I will change that. Aaron Judge is going to be the AL MVP, pardon me. In terms of NL MVP, I said Shohei Ohtani at the beginning of the season. I think that will be the winner. But hear me out. I think the more deserving candidate that no one talks about because he plays for the Arizona Diamondbacks is Ketel Marte. I mean, this guy is absolutely incredible. Switch hitter, great fielder. And you know what? If you don't think he's the best second baseman in the league, stop watching my podcast.
What'd you make of all the drama about him and that fan taunting his mom, by the way? What'd you make of all that?
I think that was really messed up. I think that's a terrible thing to say to someone who's been through a loss like that. And, my thoughts and prayers are with Ketel Marte and his family.
I've never been through something like that, so I can't say I understand it, but good on baseball doing what they did. There's not 100% proof of what the fans said. There's speculation of what he said. Some are saying it's kind of soft. I kind of teetered on that line of like, I don't know if I'd kick somebody out and ban him from all 30 parks if that's what he actually was said. But then again, and it took me a minute to realize this, I haven't lost my mother. And if there's a knocking on wood, God up above, she lives until she's 403, because I'm going to need her to carry me through all aspects of life. I love her to death. She's going to be picking apart this YouTube video. Oh, you touch your face here and there. Love my mother. Shout out Anne-Marie. I've never been through that. So put yourself in Ketel's shoes. Doesn't matter how you lose, when you lose your mother. You don't
terrible.
Do it.
There's some things you don't. Look, you can tell. I've always said I've played sports for a long time, and I used to play high-level basketball, and we used to get heckled too, even as high schoolers. And there's certain things that I would say I don't care. You can tell me I suck all you want. You can tell me I'm a loser. You can tell me I'm whatever. There's certain things you don't say. You don't say things about dead relatives. I think that's really off limits, and what that fan said was unacceptable.
Yeah. All right, so back to it. AL NL MVP, obviously Aaron Judge. And you know what's funny? The MLB Network's Dan Plesac said that if he had a vote today, his vote would be for Cal Raleigh. It's just stop it. You guys are beating a dead horse.
He wants clicks.
You guys are driving a narrative that just simply is not there. You're doing it for clicks. And that's something that we don't do here at the Hidden Cage podcast, is we don't try to drive here for clicks. I'll sit here and tell you all day long how awesome a player Cal Raleigh is, and how he is definitely the best catcher in all of baseball. He is. He definitely is. He's not Aaron Judge. And he's not doing it at the pace Aaron Judge is. And he's not carrying his team. Okay? He's just simply not. Okay? Not. Cal Raleigh's great. He's a great second place, runner-up in the MVP vote. He's not Aaron Judge. Sorry. So that's Aaron Judge.
I'll tell you, Cal Raleigh, 10 out of the last 15 years with the season he's having, wins that AL MVP award. Yeah. Aaron Judge is on another fucking level right now.
Yeah, I hard agree.
And you know what? I'm sorry, Cal Raleigh. That's how the world works.
I do not have to say it any better than my partner or my pal who just said it. As for the NL MVP, I think it's Shohei's to lose. Both him and Aaron Judge are like minus 1,000, I'd say right now if you check betting odds. But my sneaky dark horse, Mr. PCA.
Yeah.
Mr. Pete Crow Armstrong of the Chicago Cubs. I think he has a sneaky good season, and right behind him, Francisco Lindor. Because I think Francisco
Lindor with a drive.
I think Lindor very could have won it last year if Shohei wasn't in a Dodgers uniform.
He won second place.
He would have won it last year if Shohei wasn't in a Dodgers uniform. Jack, you got anything else, man? I'm going on 54 minutes.
Look, man. So good to be back. Thank you all for listening. Tristan's got his glove on. I'm going to let him outro, but I'm Jack Lennon, and it was so good to be back with you guys on this podcast that is loved by all, listened to by a few, and sponsored by absolutely none. Love being here. Tristan, take us out.
Third time he said it. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are checking out All Things Makash Films. Check out the rest of their YouTube channel. You come here to watch this. You might as well come here to watch everything else they've got. Follow them on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Watch them here. Watch all their beautiful content. The AI-driven narrative story where you control the story over on Instagram. That's awesome. Keep checking that stuff out. Make sure you follow 88 Keys Management everywhere as well. And why don't you, drop a follow for me and Jack as well. Okay? On Instagram and Twitter. You should know where our links are by now. If you haven't found them, type in, The Tristan Thornhill on Instagram. And what's yours, Jack, on Instagram?
Jack.Glennon. But you should also follow the Hitting Cage podcast at Hitting Cage Pod.
Yes. Be remiss if I didn't say that. Anyway, like I said, check out All Things Makash. Check us out on all of those socials. Check out the Hitting Cage. I've said everything I need to say. Guys, it's been great to be back. We got the All-Star game coming up. Baseball's back in full swing, man. I'm living the dream. Sitting on my ass.
No better time of the year.
Sitting on my... By the way, how was your fourth, outside of America? Was it weird?
It's funny, I was wearing my American flag swim trunks and my American fireworks t-shirt, and speaking Greek, they couldn't be more confused.
Well, I hope everybody who is watching had a very happy 4th. I hope you guys continue to have a great rest of your week. I was going to say something. How can I forget? I always tell them not to fucking forget. If there's one thing you take away from this show, and Jack Lowen knows it all so well, is that you stay funky, you stay fresh, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Take the stay higher. Take the stay higher. I'm a blower. You don't know what it takes. So you wanna be great, but do you really know what the stakes? Do you know what it means to me? I keep running my race.
Aye, that's a good one.